this whole DOGE thing is absolute garbage. We get these from time to time. We had the Simpson-Bowles commission. Do you remember that? Were you around, Matt, when that was happening?
That was a little bit before my time, but I remember hearing it talked about.
Simpson was a senator from, I want to say, Wyoming. And Alan Simpson, and he famously said while he was a member of this commission, or he was chairing, that we got a problem with old people on the government teat, I think is what he said. And Bowles, Erskine Bowles, was, I want to say, chief of staff for Jimmy Carter. Clinton. And he was also a fan of privatizing Social Security. This is why when people who like Social Security were very, very suspect of Barack Obama. And the rules for this committee were, I think it was something like, there's going to be 8 Democrats and 7 Republicans. The specific numbers, but I think that was the dynamic. And for this committee to make a recommendation, you needed a majority of the committee to sign off on it. And there was so much pushback to this committee amongst Democrats. And it was, I think it was basically made up of sitting senators, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't just sort of randos who hadn't been elected. They could not issue a committee report because they couldn't get a majority of people who would sign on to it. And so they attempted to release these sort of like minority reports. And then the media would pick it up. The Simpson-Bowles Commission says we need to cut the cost of living increases for old people. And I remember going on MSNBC going, Simpson-Bowles Commission did not put out a report based upon their own rules. Some dudes did. But they were just dudes. They weren't the committee because the committee needed a majority and it didn't get a majority. Well, the rules for the DOGE thing is they paid me money to win the election. So whatever. That's the rules. And it's going to be used as a cover. They're going to say that they're cutting the military, and they're going to end up cutting like $5 from the military. But then they're going to go for social services, and even more dramatically, they're going to go for Social Security and Medicare. Here is Representative Greg Lopez, Republican from Colorado, outside the meeting of the DOGE caucus. This is a group of Republicans who are supporting this non-elected bureaucratic committee that is making proclamations on behalf of the richest man in the world.
We're going to just keep asking members of the caucus as they come in, sir, can we get a pledge to stand with President Trump against cuts to Social Security and Medicare benefits?
I think, you know what, when we look to reduce our national debt, I think these should be on the table.
Okay.
You know, so I am a strong advocate of discussing this and reevaluating it. And I do believe at the end of the day, there will be some cuts.
There are cuts to Social Security and Medicare.
Yes.
And that's on the table in the DOGE caucus right now.
Well, we're about to find out.
Okay. Thank you so much. So there you have a member of the DOGE committee, the DOGE caucus.
Pause it for 1 second. I should tell you that's Alex Lawson from Social Security Works. I suspect that the representative didn't realize.
That's right. I was going to say, great for Social Security Works being in that hall.
Oh, yeah, no, Lawson's quite good at this. And, I mean, there you have it. First off, let's be clear. Social Security does not contribute one dime to the deficit. It is statutorily impossible for Social Security to add to the deficit, which is why when the trust fund runs out 2033, although maybe it's 6 months earlier now, if this expansion of who gets Social Security happens. And again, that's an estimate. That's the mid-level estimate. 2033, if Congress does nothing in terms of raising the cap on the payroll tax, there's an automatic cut of about 17%. Why? Because it is illegal for Social Security to add to the deficit. So when that guy says we need to cut Social Security to help with the deficit or the debt, what he's saying is we cut Social Security and then raid the trust fund and raid the Social Security taxes to pay off the cuts to income taxes for wealthy people. That's the formula. You could put that on it. It's that simple. It is that simple. Is there any more? Does he go with anybody else, or is that it?
They ignore him. We can just keep it going.
Let's just watch it because I like to watch Alex at work.
Fully supporting cuts to Social Security and Medicare, ignoring the president. Sir, I was hoping we could get a pledge to stand with President Trump against cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Hi. Sir, I was hoping we could get a pledge to stand with President Trump against cuts to Social Security and Medicare. We're going to just keep asking.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Very good to start with. Pledge to support.
100%. 100%. He's doing two jobs there simultaneously. He's one, pretending like Trump is threatening them,
Right.
and two, telling on those who want to cut Social Security. That's why if you're looking for an organization that is protecting Social Security Works is one of the good ones.
SocialSecurityWorks.org.
Yeah, Alex Lawson does a lot of good stuff that you never, ever hear about. Hey, with Trump's inauguration coming up, we're already seeing what the next 4 years will look like. His senior campaign official threatened Pennsylvania election workers with jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates. The real issue with that? Only one left-leaning outlet has covered this story, leaving Trump's base room to dominate the narrative. This isn't just about Pennsylvania. It's a preview of the tactics we're going to see for the next 4 years, so we can't afford not to pay attention. That's why I've been a longtime partner with Ground News. It's an independent app and website that shows us how important stories shaping our lives get covered or ignored across the political spectrum. Plus, it gives context on why they might be missing from our feeds in the first place. For those of you feeling politically burnt out, Ground News makes it easy to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. Their daily briefings give you a quick, factual breakdowns of the day's biggest stories from every angle. They are also knocking down the price of their top-tier Vantage plan to under $5 a month for our listeners. Just go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe. It's their biggest discount of the year. And maybe even gift one to someone you know. By supporting Ground News, you're not just supporting my channel, you're ensuring independent voices don't disappear. Because what's happening in Pennsylvania is a warning. If we don't push back now, the next election is going to be even harder. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.